So welcome everyone. My name is Bud Wassell and I'm coordinator of our Employee and Family Resources Program, which you may know about, but I'll tell you a little bit more about it in just a moment. So this is our kickoff webinar for the 10 days of gratitude. And I'll explain what we've got set up for you as we go through the 10 days. And there's my contact information there, as well as my colleague, Vivian Burgle. She'll be doing some of the live sessions as well. She helps me out quite a bit in all of the things that we do for EFR. So before we get into the whole program, just to say thank you for the work you do, the important work, no matter what your role is. And I'm also just very grateful that you're here joining me today and taking time out of your busy day to do this Power of Gratitude webinar. So as I mentioned, I am recording this so that I can post it so others can watch it at a different time. You might grab a pen and paper or open up an email or a text or a note app, because I will be asking you to reflect on things that you're grateful for as we go through this, and it might be helpful to record them. So you might think about doing that. And just a reminder about our Employee and Family Resources Program, and there's the toll-free number. It is answered 24/7, and outlined there are the main services. This is provided by an outside company, so if you do decide you would like to use the program for any purpose, it's completely free and confidential. The counseling part of the program is you can actually call that number to get some counselors to connect with, or you can use that link. Oh, and by the way, I'll be posting these slides on our Thrive site under live and recorded resources. So you'll be able to see all these links and phone numbers, so you don't have to worry about taking notes for all that. But anyway, the counseling part of the program, you can schedule online sessions through that first link that you see there, the ynhhs.mybeaconwellbeing.com. And so you can actually read bios of the counselors that are on that part of the network and schedule appointments right online. If you want to talk to a local counselor who is more likely to be in our Cigna network, I would recommend that you call the 877 number to get started. And I'm the internal program coordinator throughout the system. As I mentioned, Vivian helps me also. If you have any trouble connecting, if there's any roadblocks, or, the mental health system is quite busy these days. So, if there's anything I could do to facilitate, just reach out to me over the email system. Happy to try to help. I have direct connection to the company called Carillon. Used to be called Beacon Health Options, but they're now called Carillon. Okay, so just a word or two about how the overall program, at least our part of the program for 10 Days of Gratitude, works. Each day, starting today through May 13th, we have some activity that you can do. There's going to be live webinars, as you can see there, on Monday the 8th, Wednesday the 10th, Thursday the 11th. We have different topics. So the Monday, we have cultivate positive feelings and cope with negative feelings. Wednesday is all about self-compassion, ways to be kind to yourself. And Thursday is plan 3 bright spots. Basically, it's about kind of looking at overcoming the negativity bias, which I'm going to talk a little bit about today. And then all the other days, you'll see posted either on Thrive, or they're already on Thrive. If you go to Thrive and then go to live and recorded resources, we have all the other days. So like tomorrow, for example, is a tip sheet on give yourself a break. And there are a number of different activities that you can try. There are links and resources and references on each tip sheet. Saturday is have fun, make yourself laugh. Sunday is what really matters to you. Next Tuesday is connect with and support others. That's actually one of probably the most important things in our well-being, as well as gratitude. And then next Friday is the upside of stress. changing our beliefs and our attitudes about stress, and learn to get better at stress. And then the very last day is Saturday, May 13th, and that's Take Care of You. You deserve it. And that's ways to improve exercise, nutrition, and sleep. So that's the overall program. As I said, you can always go to Thrive, and we also are going to have them posted on our EFR website, which is that achievesolutions.net/YNHHS. All right, so let me know through chat if you have any questions. At the end of the program, I'll stay on for a couple of minutes if you have any questions as well. So here we go. Let's actually get into this. So what I'd like you to do, I want to start with a quick gratitude pause. So off the top of your head, think of something or someone or some situation that you are grateful for. Just one thing, the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? And then just take a moment and breathe nice and easily and just rest with this and just take a moment to spend some time with this thing that you're grateful for. Why are you grateful for this situation or person or whatever it is that's come to mind? Savor it a little bit. Spend some time digging a little bit deeper into the situation. Okay. And then what you might do, as I mentioned before, you might jot down what this was about. Just jot down maybe something to remind you of what this is. Whether it's on a notepad, as I mentioned, or maybe send an email to yourself or a text to yourself. And that's the first step. And basically what we've done there is we've started our gratitude journaling practice. So I'll give you some tips on that in just a moment. But before we go into that, let me bring this slide up and we'll talk a little bit about why practice gratitude. You know, how does it make a difference? Well, as you can see there, and this is all evidence-based, a lot of research studies have been done. In fact, gratitude is one of the strongest links to well-being, emotional and physical well-being. As you can see there, it makes us happier, more likely to exercise. It'll enhance our relationships, better emotional intelligence, improve sleep, self-esteem, energy levels. And at the very bottom there, when you get the slides, that is a link to a video by Robert Emmons. He's one of the primary researchers in the gratitude field. So lots of reasons, all borne out in research, to do a gratitude practice. Now with anything, just like going to the gym or doing a meditation practice or doing any kind of regular practice, that's the tough part. It's developing a routine and making it a habit. Okay, so I'm going to have a couple of tips about that today. Why should we focus on gratitude and positivity? Well, you know, we all have probably lots to be grateful for, but we tend to take those things for granted, right? We don't often take time to focus on them because our brains do have a negativity bias. What that simply means is that over millennia, in order to survive, our brains have evolved and our species has evolved in such a way that we need to be more aware of negative things in our environment. Just we need to be aware of threats. That's why we get stressed out with all sorts of little things that pop up during the day. It's easier to focus on those things and to problem solve and to be aware of the negative events. They call our attention, right? So the basic point here is that we need to make an intention to focus on the positive things. As you can see, their negative experiences stick to the brain like Velcro, and positive experiences slide off the brain like Teflon. And so the second part there, neuroplasticity, all that really means is that our minds and our brains change as we practice and we focus our attention on different things. So if we focus our attention on negativity, we're going to be building and strengthening those neural networks. If we focus our attention and practice positivity and gratitude, that'll really help us. As you can see, neurons that fire together, wire together. Basically means that we are creating neural pathways to strengthen those kinds of things that we're putting our attention on. And instead of having just a passing mental state, so for example, something pleasant happens, or you have a nice dinner, or you're with friends, that's a mental state. You know, you can notice feeling good about that. The more we practice it, we can really train our minds to create a neural mental tree. In other words, again, strengthening the neural networks in our brains. We can even learn optimism. So whether we have a more optimistic or pessimistic attitude, there's a whole book on this, by the way, called Learned Optimism by Martin Seligman. He's considered sort of the father of positive psychology. And so it's the idea that we can learn even to be more optimistic. So for now, as we look at this quote by Brené Brown, I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. So think about this. The cool thing about gratitude is we don't have to, like when we go to the gym, we're trying to develop muscles, right? But all we're really doing with the gratitude practice is we're uncovering for and looking for things that already exist, blessings and positive things that already are here in front of us. But we need to kind of really put our attention on them. And so what I want to do is give you some things to think about. So here are some prompts. And as you look over this list, maybe pick out 2 or 3 things that pop out at you that you're grateful for. And again, jot them down or put them in that email or text. It does really help to record these. The research shows that if you spend a little bit of time recording them, or you could probably also tell a friend or create a small little text group or something like that. But pick 2 or 3 of these and just jot them down. And you know, these are not big things. These are simple everyday things, you know, something that makes you smile, a place you love being, your favorite music or song, whatever it is. And don't forget some of the simple things that this quote talks about. Simple things like the scent of the rain, the taste of your favorite food, or the sound of a loved one's voice. So include those kinds of things in there as well. Okay, so you got 2 or 3 things. Now, what I'd like you to do is just spend a little time, like I said before. Again, there are some research studies that show when we spend some time and savor these kinds of things, it helps to build those neural pathways that I was talking about. So maybe take one thing to start with and get specific about that one thing that you're grateful for, or that person, or that situation. And go for depth rather than breadth. So go into detail, maybe jot down a couple of reasons why you're grateful for that person, place, or thing. You might also, if you're having a hard time coming up with things, try subtraction. What that means is, I'll give you a good example. Over the past few months, I haven't been able to drive because of a medical condition. And boy, when you don't have the ability to drive and to, you know, just hop in the car and, you know, go do even an errand, you know, you really feel it. So things that we take for granted that we can't always do, I'm really grateful and I'm looking forward to in the next couple of weeks being able to drive again. I can't wait. So that's one of the things on my gratitude list, being able to drive, and the pleasure, even though it can be quite aggravating driving in our state here, but just being able to drive and get out on the road and go do things for yourself. So try subtraction, things that, you know, what would life be like without certain things in your life? And the idea here is to begin to write down some of these things on a regular basis. Now, again, you can use a notepad or a journal or a text group or an email system, or you can try this app. I've downloaded this myself. It's free. It's called 365 Gratitude, and it prompts you. You take a little quiz at first, and it prompts you with a daily kind of thing, so that this gives you a way, if you like to use apps, as a way to just really record this and keep track. Okay, so you've got a couple things down. I hope so. I hope you've been able to record a couple things. And now what I'd like to do is try a gratitude reflection or meditation. Now, this is something that you can actually do as a meditation. So if you want to close your eyes and just follow along, I'll guide you through it. Or if you'd rather not, I know not everybody likes to meditate, you can simply just keep your eyes open and listen and use this as a reflection and maybe jot down things as I go along. Okay, so this will take, I think, about, let's say 6 or 7 minutes. All right, so let's begin. So take a moment to rest comfortably wherever you're sitting or standing. And just take a moment to bring your awareness to the touch of your body on your seat. Feel the weight of your body on your chair. Now you can close your eyes if you like. If you're doing this as a meditation, feel free to close your eyes, or even keep them open slightly with a soft, unfocused gaze. Maybe take a few deep breaths, so really full in breath, long, slow out breath. And while you're breathing deeply, relax your body, especially the shoulders. Let your shoulders relax, stomach muscles, muscles in the face, hands, legs. Just see if you can let go of the tension in the body. And now bring your attention back to your breath and notice what it feels like. Just notice the feeling of the breath going in and out of the body. Down the throat, filling the lungs, back out through your nose or mouth. Notice the stomach and chest rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. And at this point, just allow your breathing to be natural and relaxed. And whenever you become distracted, that's fine. That happens all the time, right? Just gently bring your attention back to the sensations of your breathing, or to the prompts as we're going through, as we begin to talk about what we're grateful for. So maintaining this mindful awareness, take a moment to reflect on gratitude. What are you truly thankful for? It's easy to forget that we're alive and breathing. We may have problems and experience pain, but in many ways we have a healthy life compared to other people. Think about the freedoms you have that many in the world don't get to experience. Think about the opportunities that are available to you. How might it feel if any of those were taken away? Think about your relationships, the support you've been given throughout your life. Think of people who've been kind to you, family and friends and coworkers who have supported you. Maybe take a moment to think of a specific person who has supported you, a mentor, a teacher, a colleague, family member. And why? Explore this a little bit with some curiosity. we realize how much we depend on the cooperation and support of other people. Now think about your home, your workplace, the food you eat, the clothes you wear. They all come from the efforts and hard work of other people. Maybe take a moment to think about a specific thing in your life that you're grateful for. Something at home, something that gives you warmth, comfort. The food you eat, the music you listen to, the books you read, whatever it is, just something in your life that you're grateful for. Now, here's another thing to be thinking about. What about a quality of yours? Something you did for someone, how it made you feel. Be grateful to yourself for the good qualities, for the hard work you do, for all that you do for your family and friends. Just take a moment to reflect on that, appreciating yourself. Now, I realize it may be difficult at times to feel grateful. So even at this moment, if you're not feeling that grateful, that's okay. Just notice where you are and make a wish to feel gratitude, to be open to that, to be receptive. Now, before we close out, just take a moment to notice all of this. What has it been like for you to reflect on all these things that we can be grateful for? There's so much more as well, but just notice what it feels like in the mind and the body. See if you can get in touch with that. See if you can notice maybe an emotion that comes up connected to that, or a feeling in the body, or some thoughts that arise. And when you're ready, if you've had your eyes closed, feel free to open them and bring your attention back to where you're sitting in the room you're in and to the touch of your body on the seat. And this ends the meditation or the reflection. So if you did it as a meditation, take a few moments when you get a chance to jot some of the things that came down. This could be a great starting point for your gratitude practice. If you did jot some things down, keep track of that and maybe build on that, maybe go into it a little bit deeper. Again, the research does show that jotting it down. Now, you don't have to do it every day. For some reason, I've read in some studies that even just 2 or 3 times a week of recording it will make a difference. So here are just some other, oh, by the way, when you get the slide, you'll see a link here. This goes to our gratitude meditation, sort of similar to the one I just did. That's on our EFR website. But here are some other quick things to be thinking about, just other quick gratitude pauses that you can try. So just breathe deep throughout the day. Just take a few deep breaths and appreciate being alive, being able to breathe. Scan the body and notice what's good about your body. You know, so often we think about what's not working well, what we don't like about our body. And there's a good example of focusing on the negative. We have to kind of really, with intention and attention, turn our attention to what we appreciate about our body. You know, the ability to walk, the ability to move, the ability to do whatever you can do with your body. So just take a moment to appreciate that as well. And with any pleasant experience, this next point, savor, to stop, sense, appreciate, and go. All that really means is to, when a pleasant something arises, stop for a minute, appreciate it, sense it. What do you notice in your senses? And then move on. Spend a little bit of time with it. Now, we all take photos, right, with our phones. So you might create a photo album of things that you're grateful for and store them in your phone, which you can refer to at another time. And then the last point, of course, is who are you grateful for? And this is where I think jotting it down helps a little bit. And why? And tell them. Tell them face to face, or maybe send them an email or a text or a thank you note. But, let them know how you feel. Here's another practice. I won't spend too much time on this today, but this is something we're going to spend time on the webinar on Thursday, the 11th. Plan 3 bright spots in your day, and it will include this. But even a simple, at the end of the day, a simple practice of writing down or sharing 3 good things that happened. It's another good way, instead of focusing on the things that didn't go so well, what went well during the day. 3 simple little things that you can jot down and remember. And when they did this in the study, they found that people who did this for 1 to 2 weeks really had a lasting effect of up to 6 months of positive feelings from that practice. So give that a try. That's another thing to try. These are videos you might want to listen to, but this is a quote, which I love. It's from Brother David Steindl-Rast. He's created this gratefulness.org site, which you might want to check out. It's not happiness that makes us grateful. It's the other way around. It's gratefulness that makes us happy. And that kind of says it all. These are 3 different videos that you might want to check out when you get the slides. They're all maybe 5 to 7 minutes. So if you need some more inspiration, check those out. And then I'll leave you with this last quote from Oprah. Be thankful for what you have, you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. So again, I want to thank you for being with me today, for taking the time out of your busy day. I'm going to stop the recording, and then